यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येवाच सन्तुष्टस्तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते.
So Bhagavan here introduces three wonderful, beautiful concepts that we actually went through when we went through the spiritual path. In that we have touched upon this. Here Bhagavan is actually, so when we touched upon it, we took it from here. Three wonderful concepts. So Bhagavan says, two is, we have seen this earlier. Yes, tu atmarati. Two is but this person. So but means in contrary to this previous person, the previous verse. In the previous verse, he talked about a person who lives in moga, in vain. In contrary, as a contrast to this person who Indriya Ramo revels in his senses, this person who rejoices in the self, Atmarati. Atmarati means rejoices in the self only, eva. And cha is hand, and syada means who is Atmatripta, satisfied with the self, in the self. Manavaha, that person. And also santushta, that means contented, in the self only, atmanyeva, in the self only. And for this person, tasya, na, not, vidyate, there is, or this person is not bound by what? Karyam, action. So Bhagavan says, but the person who rejoices in the self, who is satisfied in the self, contented in the self, that person is not bound by action. So the three terms Bhagavan introduces here are Atma Tripti, which is self-delight, Atma Rathi, self-satisfaction, and Atma Santushti, which is self-contentment. This person, we talked about this person when we went through the spiritual path in Samadhi. This person in Samadhi leads to Atma Tripti, Atma Rathi, Atma Santushti. After attaining Tattva Jnana, when the person is in Samadhi, with absolute devotion or bhakti, that person experiences Atma Tripti, Atma Rathi, and Atma Santushti. As a contrast, going back to the previous verse, the people of the world, our Rathi, our Tripti, our Santushti, all of that comes from the world. It's dependent on the world. We get very happy very easily. Small little gift, a little praise, some acknowledgement. Those are the things that make us happy. All of these lead to delight, satisfaction, and contentment. And as we are taking all of this from the world, as a consequence, we are bound to the world, both in terms of dependence to receive all of this, and in terms of duty, bound by duty to give back to the five by performing the yajnas. So in both ways, we are depending, so we are bound, and because we are receiving, we have to give back, so we are bound. But please remember all this time, Bhagavan says, first give, then take. On the contrary, a person who revels and is satisfied and is contented in the self, in the performance of the duty of that person, in addition to cosmic nourishment, Bhagavan says that you get cosmic nourishment. We saw this in the last Saturday's satsang. Also gets self-nourishment. So what is the cosmic nourishment? The cosmic nourishment is Devan bhavayata nena te deva bhavayantuvaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreya paramavapsyatha. That is verse 11 in chapter 3. So Bhagavan says, with this yajna spirit, Devan bhavayata nena, may you nourish the gods. And may those gods nourish you in return. In this way, mutually nourishing each other, you shall attain the highest. So that nourishment comes from the cosmos, cosmic nourishment. But in addition to that, this person gets Atma Tripti, Atma Rati, Atma Santushti. So this person is getting nourished both from outside and from within. And such a person, Bhagavan says, na vidyate karyam, is not bound by action. Why? Why is this person not bound by action? Because he is first giving. She is first giving. First give forward. Already done. Already given. Already action is completed before receiving. And the action was done without the selfish cause of expecting back or receiving back. So once I happened to be in this satsang where a Swamiji had come to somebody's home, and this is either called a satsang or it's called Diksha, okay? And typically, in these kind of situations, there is first a lecture where everyone listens to the sermon from Swamiji and followed by a meal. However, in this case, as soon as the entourage came, one of the, sevaks, one of the people who served Swamiji, he went to the host and he said, Swamiji is very hungry. Let's do the meal first, the Bhiksha first, followed by the talk. So a proper meal was served. And Swamiji, obviously was pretty famished and he gobbled it up. We were all not eating, obviously, he was only eating, but we were watching and he just gobbled it up. And then he said, Tripti, delightful meal. You'll find a lot of people saying Tripta, after eating well. But did he get Rati, satisfaction? So Swamiji's sevak said that Gulab Jamun as a dessert would have been nice. Luckily for the host, there was, just around the corner, there was a sweet shop. So quickly somebody ran, got some Gulab Jamun. Swamiji was served Gulab Jamun. Atma Rati, satisfaction obtained. But then Swamiji later on actually said, is there nice hot South Indian filter coffee? So contentment had still not come. Santushti had still not come. So a cup of filter coffee. And after, the Atma Rati, Atma Tripti, Atma Santushti, after the meal, the Gulab Jamun and the filter coffee and a loud burp, which everybody present in the room heard. After that, do you think the Swamiji is bound to give back now? Bound to give back. After enjoying this delight and the satisfaction and the contentment. But how do you think after this beautiful meal, however the lecture was? It's your guess.